Because on MSNBC, if you're against World War III, you're an agent of Putin. Watch.
10 House Republicans voted against military aid for Ukraine. Usual suspects, but I'll read them out here. Andy Biggs, Dan Bishop, Warren Davidson, Matt Gaetz, Paul Gosar, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Thomas Massey, Ralph Norman, Scott Perry, and Tom Tiffany. The point is, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Vladimir Putin, and too often than I think anyone would like to acknowledge, Tucker Carlson, are all on the same page.
We're on Putin's side. It's funny. Marjorie Taylor Greene represents the state of Georgia in the Congress, and we are happy to have her on tonight. Congresswoman, you seem to be fighting still, a year later, a pretty lonely battle on the Republican side to wake up your own party to what they're supporting, which is Joe Biden's chief and craziest policy aim. Like, what is this?
Well, it doesn't feel very lonely from my standpoint, Tucker. You know, we just heard Mike McCall, one of my colleagues in Congress, talk about bipartisan support for this war against Russia and Ukraine. Yeah, there's bipartisan support among the American people, and that's support for our country, our border, stopping crime in our cities, reducing inflation, and making things good in America again. There's not bipartisan support among the American people for fighting a war in Ukraine that does nothing for Americans except force them to pay for it. You know, I'm really sick and tired of it, and so is everyone else. Here's the problem. The problem is that the warmongers and our supreme leaders in the Biden administration are so clueless, they are so stupid, and they are so disconnected with what the American people want that they are literally going to lead us into World War III. And I don't want to be on that train anymore. I am not interested in it, and neither is anyone else. You're one of the few people that tells the truth like the American people feel and talk and think on television that I ever see, telling the truth. And I'm trying to say the same thing in Congress, but yet we're the ones that are supposed to be for Putin. I don't think so. You know who's for China is the Biden administration and the idiots that I work with in Congress that are leading us into World War III and going to hurt America like never before.
Yeah, when an MSNBC anchor accuses you of hating America, you know maybe it's not an entirely sincere attack. Are you making any headway? I mean, we really are moving towards something awful. I don't think that's an overstatement at all. Do you see any of your colleagues on the Republican side in the House coming around to your position?
Well, I'll be introducing a resolution of inquiry on Friday, actually, tomorrow. And this is something I introduced in the previous Congress. Every single Republican, including Mike McCall, voted in favor for it. So I'll be introducing that on Friday. Let me tell you what it's going to do. It's going to force Congress to give the American people an audit. And that is exactly what the American people need, an audit of Ukraine, because we have no idea where all this money's going. I mean, we know that it's paying for pensions for Ukrainian leaders and people in their government, while people in East Palestine are suffering from basically a nuclear bomb that exploded in their city. We know that our American dollars are paying for aid in Russia, in Ukraine, but we don't know where that's going. So I'm introducing this resolution. I'm looking forward to seeing my Republican colleagues support it.
Yeah, they're just looting the U.S. Treasury. I mean, obviously, that's what they're doing. Marjorie Taylor Greene, appreciate your coming on tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Tucker.
So Pete Buttigieg is